Let's talk about giving this holiday season. We are now joined by Ebong Eka, who's been with us for most of the year, CPA and author of Start Me Up, the No Business Plan, Business Plan. I like that very much because any good business plan, as people tell me, is one that you can throw away and kind of start over again. But let's talk about giving. A lot of people talk about giving, and few people actually do the giving. What makes the people different from the ones who actually give versus the ones who say they're going to give?
Well, we give for a reason. We give to feel better about ourselves, but also to help a situation like, say, what's happening in the Philippines, what happened in Haiti, and even domestically with some of the charities that we know and love.
Americans are criticized for a lot of things, but one thing that we take credit for is we are one of the most generous countries on earth. We give. Part of the reason we give for a lot of people, unfortunately, is the fact that there's a taxable event or non-taxable event. Explain to our viewers around the world what that means and why that's a big deal.
Well, the good news is the government does a lot of things, Congress does a lot of things to help to have American people to do certain things like the mortgage deduction. But with charitable giving, there's an incentive to do so. However, giving there's a certain dynamic in terms of how much you can give and when to give and so forth. So you need to talk to your tax advisor. But more importantly, if you can deduct. If you have non-standard deductions, then you have the ability to actually give more and take the tax benefit from there.
So basically, you give the money away, and then you don't get taxed on that income.
Exactly,
so it's similar to donating.
Exactly.
Charity in the United States, has it gone up or has it gone down with the whole recession and the recovery?
There are a lot of people who are starving, a lot of people who are suffering, and so I think a lot of people, regardless of their current situations, are giving. You don't have to necessarily give cash, you can also give property. So people are giving away used items, used computers, used clothing to places like Goodwill, maybe the Salvation Army and what have you. So I think there's still an increase of giving, regardless of what's happening in the economy.
Now, many of the people that I know, they give clothes and they give goods, but a lot of them just give money. Yes. So they'll write you a check or they'll give you money and they'll give it to an organization. A lot of these organizations, I'm sure they're very, very valid and very legit, but how do you know that they're actually, first of all, how do you know they're in a legit charity? And second, how do you know they're spending the money where they say they're going to spend it at?
See, those are two major issues. The first thing is the IRS has some strict rules as it relates to giving money and getting a tax deduction for it. So if they're a charity that actually has been that's been given the okay by the IRS, you have to go to the IRS website and you can do a search for your charity.
To make sure it's legit.
To make sure it's legit and that you can actually take a tax deduction for that. The other thing is you can also check on things like GuideStar to find out if the charity you're interested in, how they spend the money.
So they'll rank it, they'll explain to you. Somebody actually does that.
Exactly,
I mean, it's amazing,
really. Exactly. It's a way for people to publicly see how an organization spends their money and what they spend it on.
So if somebody wanted to give money, and I go, hey, Ebong, I want to donate money to a particular cause this year, whether it's education or it's to food for the needy, what is the best way to get started giving?
I would say go to the IRS website and take a look for a particular charity. You can also go online to find charities you have an interest in, and then double check that with the irs.gov website to see if they're legit. Also, ask them for information as to what they spend their money on, because they'll gladly tell you that. And you can also do a regular search online to find out, to verify the information from other people. And then after that, you can also give your time in addition to money, as well as goods.
Very quickly, what's the number one thing that people give during the holidays?
It's time and cash. Time, i.e. standing in line and serving food to the poor. And the other one is actually writing a check for maybe $100, $200, $1,000. If you don't want to do a big check, do it over the year, out of your paycheck, every pay period.
Every little bit counts. Ebong Eka, thank you very much. Always good to have you on here. Happy holidays to you. And